Hi everybody, thank you for joining me for this week's question and answer video. I hope all of you are feeling well, feeling better, healing, going this way at least. Yeah. This is a weekly question and answer video I do every single Monday, and I'm answering people's questions from the last question and answer video from last Monday. Anybody have questions, please go down below into the comment section, ask me anything you want, and I'll answer them in the next question and answer video next Monday. For those of you who are new here, new viewers watching this, welcome. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to this weekly video. I encourage you to please ask me questions. There is no such thing as a stupid question, a bad question. I don't care if they're repeat questions. I don't care. People need to hear this over and over again. There's always new people joining us, so please, I encourage you to ask. Learn what happened to you. Try to learn why you feel the way you do and how to get better, okay? I like to recommend something every single week to you guys to help you heal from different kinds of trauma, and a big part of healing from trauma is sleep. Big part. That's why I talk about it so much. I'm going to go over something that healthline.com, I think that's what they are, yep, healthline.com recommends 17 proven tips to sleep better at night. I think I've gone over all of this before, but let's try a different source to kind of nail it to you guys, to get it home, because sleep is a major part of healing. And you should know this. I mean, you guys probably know this by now, because one of the worst days we have is because we had a bad sleep or not enough sleep the night before. We deal with depression, we deal with anxiety, our body is affected. This is all stress, okay? Healing from trauma, many of you guys might have a stress disorder, but it's all stressful, okay? And stress really affects our body. It really affects our sleep. And there's lots of bad symptoms from not enough sleep, and we can't function and operate the next day. Look at some of the biggest things that you guys are feeling, some of the biggest things I hear you guys complaining about. And that is anxiety attacks, panic attacks. I can't think clearly. I can't focus. My memory, these kinds of things are all affected by not enough sleep, and they all get better by better sleep. So if you guys are interested, after I read these, if you guys want to know more about sleep, I have a video called Sleep Hygiene. Made it a while ago. It must have 30 different suggestions on better sleep. I'll add some to these, and you can find it in a playlist called Healing cptsd. So let's get started. Again, this is from healthline.com. I'll put the link down below in the description box. 17 proven tips to sleep better at night. Number 1, increase bright light exposure during the day. Sitting at home with the lights off and the curtains drawn and the blinds down and not going outside doesn't help. We need a cycle. We need a cycle of light during the day and no light at night. Okay? Very important. And while you're outside, you might as well exercise. Number 2, reduce blue light exposure in the evening. So we really don't want much light at night. It reduces melatonin, so we don't rest well. Our brains keep going. And you guys probably already know that the biggest common source of blue light exposure is from our phones and computers and laptops and all these things that we stare at all day and all night. So if you can keep most of that activity to daytime or early in the evening, or at least stop it way before you have to go to sleep, it will help you rest better at night. Don't consume caffeine late in the day. I think if you have a stress disorder like cptsd and you're getting 4 or 5 hours sleep a night, I don't think we need coffee at all, right? Because we want a regiment. We want to get up at the same time, and I think that's on here. We want to go to bed at the same time, and we want to sleep, and we don't want to say, oh, I didn't get enough sleep, so I'm going to drink a bunch of caffeine all day, and then crash and then fight sleeping in the afternoon and stay up at night. And then your body kind of cycles again. Your body will start keeping you up late at night again. Number 4, reduce irregular or long daytime naps. Your brain wants to go during the day, and then it wants to crash and sleep at night. So when we sleep and take a nap during the day, that kind of gets our brain thinking it's nighttime, okay? And so when you will get up from your nap, it's daytime. And here we are, and we're not getting enough sleep. it can really mess with your nighttime sleep. However, I want to stress that if you have a stress disorder, if you have a problem sleeping, what's really important is to get enough sleep. So I think right now it might be, if you need to sleep, it helps to rest or take a nap during the day. You also don't have to sleep. It helps just being horizontal and resting your eyes, resting your brain. Okay? Try to sleep and wake at consistent times. Schedule. What really, really helps is how committed you guys are. I think the biggest problem you guys face is the biggest problem I faced when not getting enough sleep when I had cptsd. And that's committing to going to bed. Your brain's going. We're stressing. We have anxiety. We're ruminating. What should I do tomorrow? Oh no, this. Oh no, that. And we go to bed 6 hours before we have to get up and say, God, man, I only got 5 hours sleep because I kept waking up. Well, I'll tell you this. It's real simple. The latest study done on sleep is just real simple. Human beings need 8 hours of sleep. If you're suffering from any kind of stress in your life, biggest is relationships, things like this, we need 9 hours sleep. And once you're all healed and everything's great, right, and you don't face much stress, we can get by on 7. Pretty cut and dry. So when people tell me who are suffering from a stress disorder, anxiety, things like this, and they tell me, oh, David, it's cool, I only need 4 or 5 hours sleep, I'm fine. No, you're a human being. Human beings need 8. And in most people's situation, 9. So if we wake up right after 4 hours and we have troubles getting back to sleep and we stay up for an hour or two, if we go to bed 8 hours before we have to wake up, we already screwed ourselves, didn't we? Already. We have to go to bed earlier. What really helps is when you finally commit to this and you say, I need to go to bed. If I have to get up at 7 in the morning, then I need to go to bed at 11. But that's if I sleep really well for 8 hours, and I don't. So I tend to get up for an hour, so I go to bed at 10. I tend to get up for an hour and a half, 2 hours, so I'm going to go to bed at 9. I know this just is like, wow, that's so early, David. But it's also, are you worth it? Because you can't get healthy if you don't give yourself your 5 basic primary needs. Food, water, shelter, sleep. You're not going to make it. It's going to make a stress disorder worse. It's going to make anxiety disorders worse. It's going to make eating disorders worse. It's going to make every problem worse. Trust me. Even 6 hours. If you have a stress disorder and you have anxiety and you're drinking caffeine during the day and you only get 7 hours sleep, you are not getting enough sleep. Okay? You're not getting enough sleep. Commit to it. Make a time, make a regiment. This is what I'm going to do to start getting ready for sleep and shut my brain down. All right, take a melatonin supplement. Melatonin works really well for people. There's also a bunch of other things that work for people when melatonin does not. When we're suffering from a stress disorder, sometimes a little melatonin does nothing, does it? I recommend things all the time for better sleep. Like I said, I even have the video, sleep hygiene. I have tons and tons and tons of supplements that you guys can take that will help you get better sleep. I have something that'll work for everybody. Okay? You can watch my Q&As or you can hire me for a session for better sleep. Here's some of the things they recommend. I have recommended all of these and I'll recommend some more. Ginkgo biloba, glycine, valerian root, magnesium, L-theanine, lavender. I'll say it again. Ginkgo biloba, glycine, valerian root, magnesium, L-theanine, and lavender. All natural. Can't hurt you. Okay? We need to be taking these. Some of these are minerals like magnesium. We need magnesium. We need minerals. We need vitamins. If you guys are, there's just not enough in our food. Unless you guys are taking thousands of calories, you're not going to get enough vitamins and minerals in your day. And guess what depletes them the most? Stress. So daily, should you be taking your daily amount? Well, good luck even absorbing most of it, right? So I would recommend right now, if you're suffering from stress, and you don't feel good, maybe not even eating well, I would recommend more than your daily dosage for vitamins and minerals and be taking all of them. People ask me which ones. All. You're probably depleted in all of them. Some other things you can take that help my clients, and the feedback I get from my clients, are cortisol ease. It's a great natural supplement that helps people relax and sleep. People's biggest feedback, positive feedback on any kind of sleep aid is the gummies. Oh gosh, now I'm going to forget. And it's the ingredient in marijuana that helps you sleep. Sorry, I can't remember. Someone will say it down there. But I can't remember what's it stand? Oh gosh, I can't remember. You guys are shouting it to me, aren't you? But the ingredients that's in marijuana, there's a certain specific ingredient that helps people sleep better, and you don't have to have the psychoactive ingredient as well. So you don't have to get high. It's not like you're smoking pot. Okay, these are things that are beneficial to people, and that's why a big part of the reason why it's legal now, or you can get it medicinally. Okay, sleep gummies, CBD oil. That's what I'm talking to. I know a lot of people are against it because it's marijuana, even though you consume caffeine, smoke cigarettes, and drink alcohol and take medication from your doctor. They don't want to take this. And that's okay. You don't have to. I'm trying to think of something else I can recommend. There's so many things that you can take that help. Oxytocin helps, Oxypure. All right, next one. Don't drink alcohol. Do not drink alcohol. Do not drink alcohol. If you're suffering from a stress disorder, do not drink alcohol. If you have anxiety, do not drink alcohol. If you're not sleeping well, do not drink alcohol. Worst thing. Worst. And people tell me, oh no, David, I sleep better when I'm drunk. How do you know? You're drunk. If you put a little aid on you that told you every time you woke up and stuff, you'd be amazed. You'd be like, oh, wow. No REM sleep when you're drunk? How many of you have really vivid dreams when you're totally wasted? Probably none. We sleep worse. And this isn't an argument for anybody. I get challenged a lot when I challenge someone's drinking or other addictions, but it is awful. It's awful. You wake up all the time. You never fall into deep sleep. You wake up. Typically, we wake up when we're drunk at night. We aren't aware of it. We don't know. We aren't aware that we're waking up and not sleeping very deeply, and then we get up and keep getting up and can't sleep. Horrible for you. Poison. Set your bedroom temperature. Without reading this, and I hope this is saying the same thing, but typically, and I think the next one is what I was going to say anyways. No, it's not. We'll get there. Set your bedroom temperature. It's better to have it a little cool. I used to love sleeping really hot. Really, really hot. No sheets, nothing on me, just really hot air. And I didn't sleep well until I started using my sheets and blankets and taking a bath or shower before I sleep, which heats my body up. My body wants to cool itself down, so that makes us tired. We also sleep in a cooler temperature so that our heads are a little cooler, and we tend to sleep better that way. All right. Next one is about eating. Don't eat late in the evening. We don't want to do much late in the evening, okay? We don't want to exercise too late. We don't want to eat too late. We don't want to stare at our phones and computers and get in arguments and check our emails and work and exercise. None of this stuff. Don't eat late in the evening. Relax and clear your mind in the evening. Best way is meditation. So if you're going to go to bed, if you're going to be a responsible and committed person and go to bed at 10 instead of 1 in the morning, maybe at 9:30, I know, isn't this crazy? Maybe at 10, we have a 20-minute, 30-minute get ready for bed, okay? And this really tells our brain we're getting ready for bed. And you can use sight, sound, smell, and touch. That tells our brain, that's all our senses, right? And that tells our brain it's ready for bed. So we can put on a specific color of light, ambient light, right? Blue, pink, green, whatever you like. You start doing that. When that comes on, your brain says it's time for sleep. It starts slowing down. We can light up a lavender air infuser. Start smelling lavender every night before I go to bed. Your brain says it's time to go to bed, right? It's like ringing the bell to feed the dog. You ring the bell every time you feed the dog. Once you ring the bell, your dog starts salivating, right? So your brain will slow down and start getting ready for bed. Yeah. Well, it's more specific in each one, so I'll just go with these. Taking a relaxing bath or shower heats your body up, calms you down, and your body wants to cool yourself down, and so you are tired. Number 14, rule out a sleep disorder. Very important. Very important. I have people sometimes come to me and they say, hey, I don't like how I'm eating. I'm doing this. And then we find out they have an eating disorder, and we need doctors traditionally to help that. Sleep disorder, you may not be able to do it on your own. Okay? Very important to identify this. Number 15, get a comfortable bed, mattress, and pillow. So important. The biggest reason I have bad sleep is the bed. I need my back straight. You get on those typical spring mattresses and you go like this, and now my back spine is going like this, and my hips are off my knees and my ankles and my neck. Everything just sucks. Best bed, just mattress for me, is the memory foam, right? So it's soft enough, it doesn't hurt my joints, but it doesn't do this. And it'll stay like that over years. It's a wonderful mattress. I use a pillow too, memory foam pillow. I also like feather pillows, but most important, a body pillow. Gosh, a body pillow is so nice. Once you get used to one, you cannot be without it. If you've never tried one, don't tell me you don't like it. We sleep on our side in fetal position, especially with walking now on 2 feet. It puts a lot of pressure on our back and our knees and our hips. This is the best thing you can do, is sleep on your side and use that body pillow in between your legs, and it's just so good from your neck down to your ankles, okay? It also helps to have something heavy weighted blankets. There's also weighted blankets you can find on Amazon that help people sleep better, and they're cooling blankets, so it doesn't mean you're getting hot. It keeps you cool. And there's also cooling pillows which help you sleep better, right? We want our heads to be kind of cool. 16, exercise regularly, but not before bed. So our stress chemical cortisol kind of flows like this. It's always going like this. And when we feel anxious, we feel that anxiety, right? That's the spike in the cortisol. Exercise can regulate this and help it go like this and stop the spikes. Matter of fact, if you think you're having anxiety attack, about to have a panic attack, raise your heart rate, okay? But exercising too much will cause spikes, right? So we don't want to exercise too much. I know a lot of you guys will be extreme. I know a lot of you guys out there will either not exercise at all or just exercise crazy until you drop dead. So both is anxiety, both is cortisol, right? And a lot of you guys are facing this problem where exercise helps with anxiety, but you're still having anxiety. You might be working out too much. You also don't want to do it late at night, right? If exercise too much or too late can start causing cortisol to jump and spike like that, okay? It's going to keep you awake at night. It can cause anxiety, okay? And last one, don't drink any liquids before bed. And I would say eating too. We don't want our digestive system to work a lot. It can wake us up, and we could have to go to the bathroom every 2 hours because I pound a gallon of water before I go to bed. I don't know why I have to wake up in 2 hours to pee. And it keeps your mind working, okay? The bottom line, it says, one large review linked insufficient sleep to an increased risk of obesity by 89% in children and 55% in adults. Wow, that's a lot. Other studies conclude that getting less than 7 to 8 hours per night increases your risk of developing heart disease and type 2 diabetes. If you're interested in, okay. So I can't explain to you I can't stress enough how important sleep is. It's important for your next day to be successful, to think right, to not make as many mistakes at work, to not be impulsive and make choices and decisions that damage our lives, okay? It's just so important. All right, again, you can find the link to healthline.com down below. All right, first person that says something is power cord, power lifter, don't know where you're from, but you say the depression after is so very real. And I'm guessing you mean after a abusive relationship ends. And it is. And it's not, there's a lot of factors going on, a lot. Relationships that fail already cause us to introspect. Loss causes us to introspect. So you've got a failed relationship. You've lost this person. Doesn't matter what you think about them. They took up day and time. It's a loss. We have abuse and trauma. We have dependency, right? Very important to identify that your relationship may be dependent. And after that dependency, after that relationship ends, it's just like we lost our heroin. All of it causes introspection, which typically causes depression. Okay, and that's that rumination and stuff you guys are doing afterwards. It's very real, and I'm glad you're acknowledging it. I read this for everybody else to acknowledge their own depression. Don't ignore it. Don't reject it. It's you. Okay? You're just rejecting yourself, and you're not helping or fixing the problem. Cindy C. from Georgia. Hello, Cindy. Was thinking so often children of disordered or abusive parents were ordered and or threatened with more abuse, loss of contact with siblings, or even threatened with deaths should they tell. Also, if both parents are involved, then other social workers or school counselors may very well take the word of the parents. I strongly think we may have a significantly more common problem than is reported. And we sure do, Cindy. And this is common with any problems in the household, with any of them. Addictions. Dad's an alcoholic. We don't want anyone to know. We don't tell anybody. We hide it. We minimize it for dad. And dad's doesn't want to get doesn't want to stop and doesn't want to be hassled about it. And mom keeps everything cool by just giving dad the booze, or not saying anything about it, all these things. And you're right. It can go to school. It can go to therapy, all these things. And we've got a codependent marriage, and they're both enabling each other and not fixing the problems and not getting better and not ending the marriage. So common. We have a huge problem, and this is no longer, I wrote down here, it's becoming no longer an in-house family problem. It's now a societal problem, and I believe it will get worse before it gets better, because if